Hi, this is Courtney from Spiritbox, and you're watching Loudwire. Technically, my first time ever hearing metal, I think, or just an extreme vocal in general, was when I guess I was 5, and when Ace Ventura: Pet Detective came out. My mind went, okay, this guy sounds like a primate of some sort, or a gorilla or something from like a National Geographic show when they're like talking to each other. I was like, okay, that makes sense. This Ace Ventura loves animals. This whole movie is about animals. And so I just was like, okay, they're just an animal band, and that's why he likes them so much, because they sound like animals. And I guess other than that memory of being a little kid, my gateway, you know, I heard System of a Down. I remember I saw Chop Suey on MTV2 when I was home from school one day, when I guess I was in 6th grade or 7th grade, and there was some aggressive kind of screaming vocals in that. Wake up! Wake up! Run, rush, and put a little makeup! At that point in my life, I was like, oh, I see all the, like, the weird kids at school wearing these shirts that say, like, Linkin Park, and System of a Down, and, you know, Korn and Slipknot. It was more like the fashion of it, because I had never been exposed to the music until a couple of years later. So what I'm trying to say is I'm a giant poser. What was it like trying to scream, growl, etc., whatever you want to call it, for the first time? Well, I bet I did it a lot later in life than the average metal vocalist. I guess I was 18 and in 2007, and my brother and I were in a band, and we had just started a band, and it was the first song that he had made that had, by the way, it was a drop D. It was very heavy, and it had a breakdown in it. I just kind of attempted it without ever trying it before, which was extremely arrogant. And I'm sure it was horrible, but back then it was great because none of us could hear ourselves. Because we're just like blaring over some used PA that we had, so I didn't know if I sounded bad or not. How and where did I practice? I only ever did it at band practice. Like I never could ever fathom like just going in my room and doing screaming. Probably until I recorded our little EP in my band, I never had heard myself before. So just down in the basement. What vocalist did I admire the most? Well, I think I quickly started to be drawn to vocalists that could do, that could fluidly move from singing to screaming back and forth. So I really was influenced by the vocalist of Protest the Hero, Brandy from Lamb of God. When I heard that, I just had never heard anything like that. It was really, not that he was really singing at the time. Keith Buckley from Every Time I Die. As I got older, Sam Carter from Architects. The vocalist that I admired the most and had the most lasting effect on me was Krista Cameron from I Wrestled a Bear Once. And then I ended up replacing her and being a part of that band without ever meeting her. But interestingly enough, you know, although we never met for many years, you know, she is probably one of the reasons that I felt a lot more confident doing this kind of thing. Did my throat hurt when I first started doing extreme vocals? Yes. I didn't know that you're not supposed to have a sore throat. I didn't know that's not good. I just thought that was part of it, you know. You practice a couple times and you hurt your voice. But I was very casual as a musician then, you know. I would do a show every couple of months. I'd practice a couple times a week, and I never had to, you know, confront myself on a, you know, a 30-day tour and then realize that what I was trying to do wasn't sustainable. So until I joined I Wrestle a Bear once, I didn't realize, you know, how important it was to have good vocal hygiene. Cupping the mic. You want to talk about cupping the mic? Well, I'm a mic cupper. It's like a security thing. So let's talk about it. Okay, first of all, you know, not all of us have fancy in-ear monitors. You know, up until last year was the first time I bought in-ear monitors, and I've never been able to hear myself on stage. So what's a great way to be able to quickly hear yourself efficiently? Cup the mic and get volume, right? There's a couple reasons I do it. Number one, it protects my body and my teeth from, like, if someone were to push me or something. So I think that's why I started doing it like really close in. It like protects my chest and my teeth. I mean, honestly, mainly because when I was starting out, like, people would like grab my boob. So it's like I would do this to protect myself, like, so I could just kind of let my guard down and sing, and which is up. But I'm like, what am I gonna do? Not go on stage? All I can do is like try to whack someone and keep going. It's like them. That doesn't happen as much anymore, but like it used to be the wild, wild west, y'all. Like, people suck. And so that, and then also to protect my teeth, you know, I would to have a finger over the top of the mic. If someone were to like come up and bash this, it won't chip my tooth, which I've done. I started to consider the fact that I shouldn't have to exert so much volume and therefore effort to hit certain notes. I should treat it the same way I treat singing, where, you know, the better control you have, the safer it is. Did I have any difficulty enunciating? And is that even an important part of my style? No. Yeah, I've had trouble enunciating, singing, and screaming. That's always been something I've really needed to work on, or have to like hold myself accountable for when I'm tracking vocals. You have to do it again. I can't understand what you're saying. And I think that's really important. This is a great question. What was the reaction from my parents and siblings? Well, my little brother was in my band with me, and he's the one that, you know, he was like my, the curator for me of metal music. And he's the guy that would show me everything from like Meshuggah to Oceano to like Periphery. My whole family, I have 4 little brothers, and I have a sister, and before, yeah, my little sister lives in the States, and me and my little brothers all live in Canada, and so all of the little brothers would all come to the show, and my whole family would come, and they'd all wear our merch, and just eventually my little brothers would be like in the mosh pit jumping around and stuff. We actually played we played my brother Mac. We played his like middle school graduation, very inappropriate. It was like a little party outside, and you know, I remember he like ran up on stage while we were playing and like whipped his shirt off and was like spinning around his head, and then jumped into the mosh pit, and the teachers actually had to come and like stop the stop the performance because the kids were moshing. So like they were really accepting of it. I think they were just happy that we were doing what we liked. Pre-show musts. Let's see, first of all, I really try not to talk very much on tour before I do a show and after I do a show, or really anytime there's loud music playing. And then I need a hot coffee. It doesn't matter how burning hot. It could be 110 degrees out. I need a hot coffee. It warms my voice. And then I need to eat something small, like not a meal, because I'll burp on stage, because I'm like the whole time you're basically just like pushing your stomach out, and I'll have something small specifically like for saliva production, and then I usually will have something that's spicy, and that kind of helps like all the blood vessels in my throat kind of like, I feel like everything's relaxed. I mean, I even have been known to like swig some hot sauce before I go on stage. I know alcohol is dehydrating, but that's why I just have like one little shot, but I'll get it in like a little whiskey glass and I'll just sip on that before I go on stage. I'm just always trying to like lube it up, you know? I eat a lot of cough drops on tour. I even bring it up on a cough drop on stage with me, and I'll like take it out and like suck on it in between songs. And then my favorite thing is this throat spray called Singer's Saving Grace. That's my jam. I have that at all times. And after show, is there anything that I avoid doing before, after shows? Like I was saying, I just really try to be like mindful of my voice, and resting it and conserving it. And then I only stay up and have fun and like have drinks and everything like when I have a day off the next day, a roadie Friday, if you will. I'll then, you know, have fun and just kind of let my guard down and like not be afraid to laugh really hard, or if I'm really excited, like talk really loud, or hang out when loud music is playing while my friends' bands are playing. But other than that, like, I'm pretty boring on tour. I go to bed pretty early, especially when you're on a bus or something, because it's loud. People are playing music and there's like 20 guys talking, and so it's just not a great environment for me. So I just watch a lot of Netflix, because I get so frustrated not being able to talk. That's probably why I talk so much.